President Biden continued his streak of signing multiple executive orders, this time focusing on immigration. However, today's actions did not address or outline how his administration plans to handle the millions of undocumented immigrants and those with temporary status who are closely watching him. Tonight, our Devin Dwyer has a look at Biden's plan for mass legalization and what it could mean for families and for the economy.
I feel relief.
At Rosabel Flores Arbaiza Salon in Washington, D.C.'s Salvadoran community, the end of the Trump presidency has given way to fresh hope.
Right now, we are, like I say, standby, because we don't know what's going to happen. But our hope is in the new administrations, because that's what we're looking for, change.
Arbaiza earned her U.S. citizenship 30 years ago, but knows firsthand the fear that many of our undocumented neighbors and customers feel living in the shadows.
I was 2 years illegal in this country. Let me tell you, it's very difficult.
You know what it's like.
I know what it's like. They've been good people. Why they have to go back? If they have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I know they have 20, some of them, years living here, living with this fear. They're going to take me back home. What about my families? So I think that, for me, is the better way is to, let them here.
Legalization of undocumented immigrants in the U.S. is getting a fresh look thanks to President Joe Biden, who sent a proposal to Congress on his first day that would immediately lift the threat of mass deportations.
Me llena de emoción.
It fills me with emotion to hear that this new president is including us, agricultural workers, in his immigration proposal. Finally, we don't have to be afraid.
The U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021 would create an 8-year pathway to citizenship in the most sweeping immigration overhaul in more than 35 years. The plan would require undocumented residents to pass criminal background checks, pay taxes, and wait 5 years just to apply for a green card. If they pass additional security checks, learn English and U.S. civics, then they could apply to become citizens 3 years after that.
The bill that they're sending to Congress replaces the word alien with non-citizens, right? That alone is not symbolic. That is actually transformative.
Some immigrants would be fast-tracked under the Biden plan, like hundreds of thousands of farm workers, recipients of temporary protective status, or TPS, and dreamers, like Gracia Martinez Rosas.
Yeah, I came to the U.S. at a young age with my mom and my dad. They were Southern Baptist preachers in Dallas, Texas. And I've been in the immigrant justice movement since I was a senior in high school. I think that this is actually long overdue.
Thank you for our fight together.
Rosas leads a movement of more than 1 million dreamers, many of them recipients of DACA, who have bipartisan support for permanent legal status. But it's something only Congress can extend.
This is not a political game for us. This is about our lives. And what is clear from the Obama years, what is even more clear from the Trump years, is that the country and the government cannot lead with detention and deportation.
The window of opportunity is narrow, with Democrats holding the slimmest majority in Congress in decades. Many Republicans are already trying to kill the bill in its tracks.
At a time when 10 million Americans are still out of work or struggling to get the hours they need, Joe Biden, through his legislation, wants to give amnesty to 15 million illegal immigrants.
We've seen it again and again in history that if you reward the behavior of those coming across illegally, it's going to keep happening.
A Fox News survey of voters in the 2020 election found 71% believe most undocumented immigrants should be offered a chance to apply for legal status. 29% said they should be deported. Most economists say mass deportation would be a blow to the economy, though the full impact of mass legalization is less clear. Many immigrants working in the U.S. are doing jobs that other Americans won't do. Thousands are essential workers, many of them on the front lines fighting COVID.
In the D.C. area, 20% of all construction workers are TPS recipients. And these are numbers that construction companies give me. They have been loyal employees that are a key to their success. So they have been sort of in this temporary status now for close to 20 years. I think they've paid their dues.
The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office says legalizing more non-citizens would expand the economy and boost tax revenue. One recent study of other countries that legalized undocumented workers found it could increase costs for some employers and in turn mean fewer jobs overall. Still, more than 130 major American faith groups and businesses, including Apple, Walmart, and Verizon, have thrown their support behind a legalization plan.
To achieve comprehensive immigration reform.
10 years ago, President Obama's major push for immigration reform and a path for citizenship failed to pass in Congress. He was criticized for not fighting hard enough and leaving office without a deal.
Trying hard, it's not enough. You know, we have been out there saying all or nothing, and we usually end up with nothing.
Teresa Romero, the first woman to lead the nation's first and largest union of farm workers, says Biden now faces enormous pressure to deliver, even if it's only piecemeal.
We need to show our community that we are moving forward, that it's not going to be like what happened in 2013. I do believe he's going to fight for it.
Romero sees a symbol of Biden's commitment front and center in the Oval Office. There, behind the Resolute desk, a bronze bust of civil rights leader and farm workers organizer Cesar Chavez.
Having him there representing the immigrant community, the Hispanic community, is just amazing.
A historic icon watching over Biden as millions of immigrant families like Rosabel Flores Arbaiza watch him closely from afar.
And now you say you're watching.
Yes.
Joe Biden.
We hope.
You hope.
For changes.
Do you trust him? Do you think he'll be able to bring change?
After all these 4 years, you know, you have to have something in your mind to be different. So I think maybe I pray God every night not to be wrong, to see changes. And I think he will do it.
For ABC News Live, I'm Devin Dwyer in Washington.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.